Okay, here we are ready to make the 5th inspection of the hive. We've had the bees now for 5 weeks. We have the good luck to have 2 helpers with us today. We have Joyce.
Hi.
And we have Jerry.
Hi.
And luckily we have 2 hives, so each of them is going to be involved with one or the other of the hives. But first, before we can get in there, we need to prepare the smoke. So this is a smoker, just a kind of a tin can. There's a hole in the bottom, you see here. And when we blow the air blows in there and it makes sure it stays lit.
Okay.
And so we're going to put a bit of paper, light a bit of paper to get it started. But then the material we're going to use is this burlap.
How long does it last?
It can last for the whole time we need it.
Okay.
But if we need to add a bit more, we'll add a few more pine cones.
Oh,
Because these
wow.
burns really nicely and it makes it's a cold smoke.
Okay.
So it doesn't harm the bees, won't
Okay.
heat them up or anything like that. We don't want to cook any bees, do we?
Do they taste good?
I don't know, I haven't tried one.
Oh,
Are you hungry?
no.
Okay. You know, some places they eat grasshoppers and crickets and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, they do. Sometimes in China too.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, give it another one. Okay, a few more.
Wait, is the fire out?
No, it's still going. Give it a bit of air, because the oxygen helps the fire to burn. Keep going, that's good. Push a bit more. Paper in. Let's crack it down a bit. Make sure it's still burning. You see that guy there? He had the yellow things on his legs,
Yeah.
kind of beige color, and
Yeah.
sometimes they're brighter orange.
Yeah.
Often they have nectar they get from the flowers. It's inside their gut, in their stomach, like in the back part of their body. They bring that in and then they carry the pollen on their legs. Let's see if we can find a good one that we can see. Let's see. So some are coming in. Oh, there's one. There's one inside. Look at this guy. Do you see on his legs? So all the ones that are coming back, these guys are kind of waiting for their chance to get in. They get in, they go inside, and then other ones are coming out, and then they'll go up in the air, whoosh, and then off they go, and they'll go foraging again.
Okay.
So each bee lives about 6 weeks only.
Okay.
So the first 3 weeks or so they do work inside the hive, doing different things, and the last 3 weeks is when they go out and they forage.
Did that bee die?
This one, yeah, he's on his, see, they don't live very long.
Why is
And they always die when they're foraging because that's their last task. Usually they die away from the hive. If they die inside, there's some of the bees that are working inside. They're called mortuary bees, and their job is to bring the dead bees out.
Okay.
So we'll sometimes find dead bees here in the morning.
But what is he doing now?
He's still alive, but not for very long. He's really at the end of his life.
Okay.
So he will be dead probably shortly. But what we'll see inside is they're constantly making new bees, hundreds of new bees every single day. Hundreds. We'll see that when we open things up. You'll see a lot of bees in there, thousands of bees. And so they can go in and out. This is the top cover. There's a hole there that they can get in and out of. Can you see in there already?
Yeah.
You can see a lot of
But what
bees.
if you stand like here? Will you die if you stand here?
Oh no,
Okay.
but the bees might not be your best friend.
Okay.
Smoke. Well, our smoke is not doing that great again.
Oh, they're
Puffs of smoke. Do you hear the noise?
yeah.
And it picked up a bit. A bit of smoke in there. Set that aside. Okay, now I'm going to lift this off, and you're going to see a lot of bees.
Are you
Okay, and the bees that are in the air around us, don't worry about those. We're totally protected. Okay,
Are you sure?
here we go, up and off.
Whoa.
Not too bad.
Not too
A few bees on there. We're going to set this one over to the side, and I'm going to take my.
What is that yellow thing?
That is called a pollen patty.
Oh yeah. I
So
forgot.
that's some extra pollen for them to eat. Okay.
Looks like cheese.
bad. And melted cheese.
Okay, my hive tool. Oh, can I?
Okay,
Where's the other?
there.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So what we're going to do first is take just a frame off the outside. Right now,
How is it?
because it's they get something from the tree sap that's quite sticky.
Okay.
And they bring that back. It's called propolis. Plus everything that they're making here, it's all sugar. And you know how sugar is really sticky if you get it on your fingers, and it causes everything to stick together. So we'll bring this up. Okay, so Jerry, if you want to come and
Okay.
take this one with your hands, leave the hive tool down. You can leave the hive tool and here, just leave it right here,
Okay.
and that as well. Okay, and if you want to just lift it straight up, slowly, straight up. That's it. And anything happening? Okay.
No.
So nothing happening on either side. So we can put it on the frame holder right there. And we can just rest it there for the moment. So what we're looking for the bees making more honeycomb or comb on the side of the frame. So let's take another frame out. We'll do that one by one. And this one also,
Has
nothing on either side.
Okay.
So we'll leave that there. Now these, you might remember, these two, see the darker ones?
Yeah.
These are ones that that were already used. They had a lot of comb built on them. And these are the main brood frames, so where they're making new bees. Let's continue. This one on that side, it's still nothing happening. But on this side, so remember this is one of the new frames, and you can see all the honeycomb that they're building.
Whoa, it's actually like very
So
red.
that's honey, the part that's capped with white. It's wax on the outside. They've put honey in the cells. See the cells are wet in there? So that's the nectar that they put in. And when the nectar gets to the right consistency, because they're constantly working on it, and it turns into honey, then they cap it off. And that's their food supply for the winter time. Right? So they'll be eventually making lots of that. So that's all nice honey in there.
You have to use both hands.
Yeah, and hold on very carefully.
Yeah.
Stand in here a bit more to the side.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Just straight up slowly,
Nice.
slowly.
Whoa.
This is yeah.
Okay. Bigger than the other bees, and she has a completely black body, no stripes.
Is it that one?
Oh, and do you want to see a drone?
Yeah?
I think there's a drone. Where did I see him? Oh, I might have lost him.
Whoa, those combs
Anyway.
are really cool.
And so the yellow ones, that's where they're putting all the pollen. Remember we saw the pollen on the legs?
Yeah.
So the yellow is pollen.
So it's
This is honey, and these are babies. All of these in here that are covered, those are where new bees are going to hatch.
the orange ones are babies.
The ones that are covered, that are capped,
Okay.
like these ones up here, right?
Okay.
These are ready for the queen eventually later to come. So we don't see the queen on that side, so I'm going to flip it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, Carmelita, take a nice picture of that side. You don't want to keep it horizontal, like on the side, because it might leak. So we want to keep
Yeah,
it.
good.
Okay.
But
Okay, I'm
there's
going to
no.
flip it.
Joyce, yeah.
Okay, so now.
Whoa.
Oh, lots of activity, huh?
What if you smack a bee?
Okay, have a really good look.
Whoa.
Queen. Did you get a good picture, Carmelita?
You said it's on this one.
Do you see in some of those empty
Following.
cells? Some of the bees are working inside, cleaning them out,
Yeah.
and they stick their heads inside.
Do
Okay.
they eat it?
I'm not sure. Some things, I think. Did you, Carmelita? I'm going to lift it up a
Sure.
little bit.
It's
Okay.
just I need to get
Oh,
this
that's okay.
bee out.
Here. Oh, it's
Oh.
taking a poop.
And then, oh my!
Is
That's
that poop?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Yeah, probably.
every bee is like
Is it
mad at me
the
now.
stinger?
Or it might be the honey. I'm not sure. Okay, so it's this one here. So you're going to have to be, it's quite tight. So come around that side. That side over here. Okay, so put your hand on that side, one hand. You got it quite well?
Yeah.
You got it? Okay. And we'll do the other side. There you go. Come on, grab this one.
Yeah.
And do you have it? Okay, lift it straight up, very gently. That's it. And lift it, let's say, right up. So, there we go. Okay. You got it? You got it?
Yep.
Okay, we can my finger over there. just some of them we didn't see her. Which I
What if
think-
he's dead?
Yeah,
No.
would be a problem, but there seems to be a lot of newbies being made, so that's a good evidence that she's still alive. You can hear her down. Okay, should we take another quick look?
Sure. Come here, Jerry.
What do you mean?
Look, what else you can see?
Why are you? Smells good.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
Can I smell yours?
So let's put some here.
You want to smell it? Is this?
Okay.
Smells
Smells
like
like plastic. A little.
So let's put some just here on top of the frames.
Like this?
Yep.
Like this?
Yep, perfect.
Will they block?
No, it's okay. That's it. Okay, and another one of the white ones as well.
Okay.
Another piece or
Oh,
two.
you
Okay, I'll
Another
do
two more pieces.
Dang it! It's so hard for me.
That's it.
It's so sticky.
Yeah, it's almost pure sugar. Oops. Okay, so let's put the top back on. And we'll be finished. This one. Get rid of this guy. Okay, that back on. So we definitely don't need to put another box on it. Not ready for that. Okay, let's try the other one.
Okay.
So
I'll do
cool.
it.
You'll do it. Do it. Oh, that's a lot of smoke. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Just be careful it's not stuck. Just try it and lift it a bit. Yeah, that's it. And then just set it over
Ooh.
there.
Wait,
Here, I
are
can
they
take a picture.
making comb
thank
on
you.
We'll leave
this?
it just here.
Why are they making comb on this thing?
No, they make comb anywhere they can.
Wow.
Okay,
'Cause
so
that's not like
let me
really
get
a
in there.
hexagon.
Just gonna
Usually, we only see the half video of that hive, so we really never get to really see this hive.
This is the one that's, I think, doing it a bit better.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's empty. Over there. And so empty. There.
I'll be empty.
Nope.
So
Will the queen be dead if you highlight the queen with a highlighter?
No, it's.
You can put something, not a highlighter, but there is something that they can attach to her back, so it's easy. Something that's quite colorful, so it's
Is
easy
it-
to find her.
Oh,
There you go. Lol.
she likes to stay in your hand.
Because it's green. Huh?
Oh yeah. Oh, remember the can?
Okay, so let's see if we can find our queen this time.
Whoa.
Anything
Okay,
happening on
queen
that side?
finding. Not yet.
No, okay. We might see
Not
some
this
on the,
side.
Might see some on the next one. Let's see.
Those
Oh,
are
yeah.
pollen, right?
That's pollen, the yellow,
Okay, yeah.
and then the other is the nectar, where it's kind of shiny and wet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see in those cells?
Mm-hmm.
Can you
The
see
white thing?
the white things?
Oh.
That's the larvae.
Oh, you
Before
can
they
see
turn into
you can
bees.
see like the shape of the bug.
Yeah, they're white, huh? Inside.
Hey, can you see it?
Can you see them?
Mm, yeah.
Do you see inside those cells? The ones that are open? All the white, kind of in a curl. Are you hungry?
Yeah. There's a dead one.
Did you see? Do you want to see?
Oh, there's another dead one.
So you see in
Joyce, look. There's a
like these
dead one
cells.
here.
Oh, wow.
It's much better than the other one. So we should be able to find our queen.
That's a new one. So which means like all those combs were made by those.
And on both sides, look at this side.
The bee is constantly walking on my
Yeah,
hand.
this one is looking much better.
Beautiful.